For everybody who knows me, you know how much I care about lifting up and supporting other women. And today I had the opportunity to have on the show Quinn Texmo. Quinn is the Community and Citizenship Manager at Turner Construction. She is a woman that works feverishly and tirelessly to support other women. One of the things that she shares with us today is one of her mantras is to be the woman her younger self would run to. And I really love that. She's focused on her community. She's very engaged in our community. She loves to travel and she loves her dog. You don't want to miss this episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is Kara Kirsch, the founder of the Ignite Women in Business and Insurance podcast. It is a sunny day in Nebraska. We're very excited about the weather change because it was very cold last weekend. And we're also very excited to have our guest, Quinn Texmo, on the show today. Hi, Quinn. Good morning. Quinn is the Community and Citizenship Manager at Turner Construction and a complete badass. So I'm very excited to have her on the show today, learn a little bit more about her, what keeps her motivated and ticking. She has a very big role for the last several years at the Ignite Women in Business and Insurance Conference, and just people love her so much. So Quinn, I'm so glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Well, let's get started. Tell us a little bit about you as a human being.
So if I were to start, I would say that, at my very core, I feel firmly that I exist to lift up and support other women. Having worked in construction for 19 years, I found that out very quickly in my career and have really figured out that leaning into that passion has helped me find a voice, which leads to things such as playing a role in your Ignite conference.
Yeah. And this year it was such a raw conversation.
It was.
And you really did a nice job of drawing out the panelists. I knew you would. But and side note, when we got the evaluations, people loved it.
Yeah.
They loved the panel. And I love it that they called out Andrea.
Me too.
Because she really needed that boost of like confidence from a group saying, I hear you, I see you, and I'm here,
Well, and I think the other feeling that I got as it relates to how they responded to Andrea is that people needed to hear that someone else was going through what they were experiencing.
Yeah.
But Andrea, bless her heart, had the courage to get on stage in front of how many hundreds?
350.
350 people and share that bit of her story. Oh, bless her heart.
Oh, I know.
I have goosebumps.
But I purposely asked her. And someone asked me like, well, what do you think she's going to talk about? And I'm like, her story.
Yeah.
And they're like, but well, is she okay? And I'm like, she's still in her story. And the important part about that, and I even told Andrea this because she said, well, what will I talk about? And I said, I want you to tell people what they can do for people that are still in their story. Because often we don't know what to do.
Yeah.
And the story that she told about me just going over there, that's what we have to do. We got to show up.
Yeah.
So where are you from?
I'm from Omaha. Omaha's my Omaha.
Your whole life?
Most of it. I was born and raised in La Vista. Ran away to Lincoln for 2 years for college. I was on the color guard there. That's why I went.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I did. I saw Cornhusker Marching Band, the Pride of all Nebraska.
Yeah.
Did that for 2 years and then decided I needed a change. Asked myself, what's the exact opposite of Lincoln, Nebraska? Sold everything, moved to New York City. Lived in New York for a year, ran out of money, came back to Omaha, finished at UNO, and then found a job.
Wow. What a great story. Did you love New York? I did. Yeah. I figured you would. Not my favorite place.
That's okay.
But I like it. And here's why. First of all, I've never gone there for fun.
Oh.
So I think I need to do that.
You do.
Because all of the times I've gone there have been for work. And I swear, every freaking time I go there, they put me in this hotel that there's been a murder at.
Oh, yeah.
The first hotel I ever stayed at in New York, I shit you not, had an outline of a dead body on the ground.
Awesome.
In my room. I was like,
oh, good.
What the fuck? I can't be in this room.
Oh, yeah, the cleaning people didn't hit this one, did they?
So I called down and I'm like, hi, I'm a kid from Nebraska and I can't be in this room. It's so funny. So funny.
Oh, that's horrible. I have a theory on New York that people who are intimidated by it or think it's too busy, I liken New York to like the walkers. The people who live there are like, it's like your drive every day to work. Walking is your commute.
Yeah.
And then you get tourists in front of you who are driving 10 miles under the speed limit. When you're in your car, you get frustrated. When you're walking, you also get frustrated.
Yeah.
So, but there are pockets of New York that are so much more neighborhood
Yeah, I've heard
than
that. Well,
the
I've watched
flashing
Money of
lights.
Sex in the City. I
Yeah,
know how it is.
of course. You should do. That's exactly how my life was. Yeah. I did share 2 bedrooms with 4 women and
Oh my
half a
God.
kitchen, 1 bathroom.
I
Yeah.
love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, I think everyone should have those experiences. I had a really small, shitty apartment here in Omaha. And I think everyone should experience like an apartment that's not nice.
Yeah.
So that when you get to a nice, you can appreciate it. One of the things I know about you too is don't you have an awesome deck at your house right now?
I do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you love to be out there.
It's my favorite space.
Yeah,
Mhm.
it was my favorite space in my old house too.
Mhm.
And you're a dog mom.
I am.
And what's your dog's name?
Finn.
Finn. And what kind of dog?
He's a mini Australian Shepherd.
Yeah, same as me.
Yep. He'll be 9 in April.
Oh, Oliver's turning 10. He might have already turned 10, but what would you say? Every dog has a personality.
Oh,
So
yeah.
what would you say his is?
Oh, just like his mom. Anxious, high strung, a little on the crazy side. Yeah, he really got some of my traits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Oliver's a British man.
Oh.
He's very snooty. He looks down on people often, and he'll say, "Mother, I don't know why we're dealing with this today." And the one
Rubbish.
yeah, this fuckery.
Like I'm listening to a book that has a British male narrating it right now.
Oh, what is it?
I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
It's an oddball. I don't know. It's a 96-hour, 5 book special for like $3.99.
I love it. I love it. I just downloaded a new book. In fact, I read fiction and nonfiction at the same time. It depends on what kind of mood I'm in, sure. And so it's a book someone recommended to me, and it's called "Don't Let the Devil Have a Seat at Your Table" or "Evil Have a Seat at Your Tip," something like that. But it's really about like not giving your energy. It's has a little bit of a spiritual bend, but the most important part is like giving your energy to things that you're supposed to.
Mhm.
And I think that that's something that as women, we are challenged by all the time because we get asked to do extra every day. And so what do we decide to spend our time on? Yeah. And tell us about your career. How has your career grown and changed, especially at Turner? But before that,
Yeah.
I think one of the things we had in common was Leadership Nebraska. We both did
Yes.
Leadership Nebraska. That's how we got connected first. And then just birds of a feather are blocking together.
Yep.
So talk to us a little bit about your career journey.
Sure. So my degree is in journalism, which obviously lends itself to 19 years in construction. Um, coming out of
Exactly.
undergrad, it was 2007, and the economy was just starting to turn. And I was interviewing for job after job after job and wasn't finding anything. And I graduated in May, and probably about October, I decided I needed to pivot away from looking for like an ad agency type job and to open up to broaden my perspective to include like corporate marketing. And so that's how I landed my first job in construction was in marketing. And, foolish, wide-eyed, naive Quinn absolutely thought I was going to be designing advertisements for them. I had no idea what the job entailed. So it was a bit of an awakening when I got there, a little bit of a shock, but it's so hard to not fall in love with the building industry. And the people in it are just salt of the earth people. And then getting to play just a teeny tiny part in the growth of the city that you love, I just immediately fell in love. And so I was with that company for about 8 years. And then I moved over and did operations for an engineering company for 4 years. And you want to talk about like a career pivot. Um, I'll remind you, I had a journalism degree. And now I'm over.
Journalism, operations, huh?
And one of the departments that was under my purview was our electrical engineering department. And I would feel the imposter syndrome like creep up my back every day because I oversaw this department where like the sum total knowledge that I have of electrical engineering is if there's a switch on the wall, you flip it up, the light goes on, you flip it down, the light goes off. I'm out. That is it.
Right.
We have summed up everything I know about electrical engineering. So how on earth was I in charge of that department? But what I found out was that the operations component of that job ended up being like 90% communication challenges and working through them.
Yeah.
And, at this point, I had also gotten my master's in communication. So it's such a joy for me to figure out a way to communicate something in the right way, not for how I want to say it, but for how the person needs to hear it in order for it to land. So that was a lot of fun. And then the marketing director ended up retiring. So I moved over and took over the marketing department for a little bit. And then, I don't know, maybe 6 months into that, the company had decided that they were going to do a reorg. And in the process of that, my position was eliminated.
Mm.
So all of a sudden now I have the opportunity to figure out what my next step in my career was. And I had known that my next step was to get back on the construction side. That's my speed, my style. And at the same time, fortuitous timing, Turner was looking to open an office here in Omaha. And so I had a couple meetings with them, ended up getting the job. I was tasked with, helping establish some roots for the company here in Omaha. Um, 6.5 years later, we're 200 plus employees strong. So we did some things right. We did a lot wrong along the way, but we did do some things right. So I started with Turner in the role of business development. And in 2022, October 2022, I was asked to take over our community and citizenship department. And in this role, I really oversee 4 core strategies. So the first one is small business engagement, and that's getting to know the small businesses within the construction industry, understanding their capacity, their growth goals, and then working internally to make sure that we are structuring bid packages so they're accessible to that small business community. So all the work isn't just going to the same companies. Yeah. The second one is workforce development, which is where a lot of my focus is right now. I'm building out a workforce development program in partnership with Iowa Western Community College. And then an organization called Iowa Works is helping with the recruiting. But I have offers out to 8 individuals to join this program. It's a 8-week paid training program.
Wow.
With they get basic learning from Iowa Western, then hands-on trade training, with the ultimate goal is at the end of the 8 weeks it rolls over into full-time employment in the trades. So that's where my heart is right now.
Right, I can see that.
The third one is future builders. And, that's really talking to kids about what construction is, what a future in construction can look like. I was at a conference with 400 students from Jag, Nebraska.
Jag, Nebraska, like Jag?
Like Jobs Across Graduates.
Oh, okay.
Is the
Not
program.
the military.
No, not the military Jag. No. This is it's a national effort.
Yeah.
To get kids career ready, basically. In Omaha, it's through United, or in Nebraska, it's through the United Way. But they had a conference, 400 students from all across Nebraska were there. And I'd be talking to one, and she was like, I want to be a meteorologist. And I would say to her, you can be a meteorologist in construction. Let me tell you what that looks like. And,
Yeah.
So it's really just pulling the thread all the way through for these kids to understand how they can fit in this industry.
Yeah.
I have a journalism degree, remember?
Right.
I mean,
Communication.
anything.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm seeing how that could work. Yeah, it's the 4th.
Volunteer and service. So all of our community engagement, all of our volunteer activities. I had a call this morning. We're going to bring on 25 interns. They're going to have a volunteer project. Yeah, it's really spearheading our effort to make sure that we're taking good care of the community where we live, work, and play.
So I appreciate you sharing these pillars because I'm seeing where your gifts would fall in each one just in knowing you. And I could see how this would fill your bucket because there's lots of diversity. And also there's some things that, have to do as part of your role, I'm sure. But there's other things that are allowing you to be creative and to bring people along with you and to create community and that kind of thing. And I see that as your strongest gifts.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons why I love having you at the conference is because you know the conference. And so you're able to bring out in our panelists the things that our attendees want to hear.
Yeah.
And so I love all of that. When you think about your community and how you grow it, what advice would you give? How do you create community, not only an inner circle of people that you know and trust, but also, bigger than that if you need to lean into for support?
One of the biggest things that I try to live by every day is look at the person and don't focus on what it is that they do. So
We talked about this at the conference.
yeah. I support a lot of other women who work for my competitors, in the industry, but I care so deeply about the woman, it doesn't matter to me
Yeah.
who she works with. And if the end result is that this competitor company that my friend works at gets better, yeah, forces me to get better, right? And the rising tide, everyone knows that phrase. But then this, the second thing, when I was really young in my career, it took me a long time to wrap my brain around the concept of being authentic.
Ah.
And for so long, there were two different versions of Quinn. There was work Quinn and there was personal Quinn, and they were two very different people. And while I was at the engineering firm, I got to go through this really intense and powerful leadership training that at the time when I was in the middle of it, felt like I was going through basically an existential breakdown.
Right.
It was because I had to tear down the illusion that there needed to be two Quins. And, I distinctly remember the very first time that I openly presented vulnerability in a situation and immediately saw a connection form with that person. And I was like, holy crap, like there's something to this,
Yeah.
and so now I really lean into anytime I need to make a connection, it generally starts with me just being painfully vulnerable. Because what I have learned is if I've gone through shit, someone else has gone through it too. But I went through it alone. Like I tried to really drive this point home at the conference is that as I was going through it, I felt like I was alone. I felt so isolated and scared and lonely. And then I would talk to someone, and they'd be like, "Oh man, I that happens to me all the time too."
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh, why doesn't anyone talk about this? Like, why
Right.
did I have to go through it alone?"
Yeah.
So I try to be for other people that who I needed in the moment.
Well, I think you're breaking down systems that were created, as I said at the conference, to limit the ability for people to, grow and be powerful, because that's what's happened to women over time. Yeah, without a doubt. And it's something I talk to my daughter about all the time.
You have to, yeah, you have to talk about it because
You have to talk
if you
about it.
don't, it's so easy to fall into the system.
Yes.
And one of my most favorite things is questioning systems and then breaking them down.
Yeah,
And that's my workforce development program is doing that. Challenging everything along the way, having hard conversations about is a high school degree necessary,
right.
things like that. And for so long we've said, it has to be this way. There has to be A, B, and C character in whatever it is that you're talking about. And my favorite question is why? Like, help me understand why
Right.
that expectation is there.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. In fact, I'm in the thick of it right now as I'm launching or have launched my company and breaking down some of the problems in our industry because of uh, consolidation, greed, lack of transparency, lack of doing what's right for the lawyer, which is our client. And um, it's been very interesting because here's the truth. The word that I profess now are raw truth, insider baseball. Okay. And I don't have to be as cautious as I've had to be in the past because I'm not under the umbrella of a system that is doing the things that are against my moral compass and that I've participated in. Yeah. Okay. And so now when I speak out, my goal is I have multiple. One is to make the business better. So if that means that my words cause employers to ask their current broker, hey, what are you doing? Yeah. That's good.
Yep.
And the second is if it causes brokers to not sit on their laurels anymore and do the right thing for their clients, then that's good. And so kind of like you, I'm like, all ships rise. And if you don't rise and you continue to do the same old shit, like that's not my problem. Yeah. But I call myself a radical truth teller right now when it comes to my business because there's a lot of stuff that's gone on that's been going on too long and it needs to end. I always say right now, if Blue Cross can afford to pay for your holiday party,
Yeah.
then they need to give the employer the money.
Yeah.
And brokers shouldn't be getting their holiday parties paid for by insurance companies. That's a no.
Yeah.
And the Kirsch Group isn't doing that.
Yeah.
Good. Well, what about mentorship and collaboration? So do you have a mentor?
Uh-huh.
Many.
Many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how do you establish those relationships? One thing that I always advise people is like, don't go to someone and say, will you be my mentor? It's so weird.
It is.
you know, but talk to us about how you do that.
Well, the very first time I did it, that's exactly what I
Me
did.
too. Okay. In 1994.
Yep. Yep. Mine was let's see, I was deep into my master's program, so it was probably 2012 maybe. And the current research that I was working on at the time was generations in the workplace, because I was trying to understand why my older male colleagues and I, while we were both speaking English, we were not speaking the same language.
Yeah.
And so I'm deep into this research for this semester, and I was at a crew lunch with commercial real estate women, and there was a speaker talking about generations in the workplace. And so, of course, I'm furiously taking notes, and she gets done speaking, and I go up and I introduce myself and I tell her that I'm studying this, and I ask her what books she referenced for this, and she ended up, uh, I don't remember if she asked me to lunch or if I got up the courage, because at that point, asking someone to go to lunch with me was a very scary thing.
Right.
But we ended up going to taxis, and
My favorite.
yep, right by my house. I remember she sat down and ordered a niçoise salad,
Oh,
and I looked at it, and I'm like, I thought it was Niquoisi. Right? So, like, you're just showing how just, like, young and inexperienced, and,
yes.
like, I didn't know anything, and, we sat there for about 2 hours, and she was the first person who I was complaining. There was some stuff going on at work and with this one particular colleague, and I was just complaining, and, he does this and he does this, and she challenged me back and she goes, "Is it all on him, or is some of this on you?" And I was like, "Holy shit."
Right.
Yeah.
Need over.
Yeah, I probably need to take some of the blame on this, and,
Right.
um, you know, well, 14 years later, she's my best friend. We travel the world together. It's Lisa Avavek.
Wow. I
Yeah,
love that
that's the
story.
story of our
Well, I
meeting.
think that your people do challenge you. And I think that your people do have difficult conversations with you.
Yeah.
And people who aren't able to have conversations about anything,
Mhm.
it's very hard for me because I believe, oh, let's just talk about it. Yeah. Like if I did something, if you did something, if something's going on that's causing us to feel some type of way, let's just talk about it. But most people are not.
They don't, and I, at some point, came to the realization that having the difficult conversation is often the kind thing to do.
Yes.
Like, I remember there was a question at the conference about I want to be nice and respected, and that word "nice," I just don't like it.
Yeah.
Because,
It feels like be a good girl.
a little bit, yeah,
Yeah.
and
We don't tell men to be nice.
right, and there's a difference between being nice and being kind,
Correct.
and sometimes saying the hard thing is the kindest thing that you
Correct.
can do
That's right.
for someone,
Yeah.
and that's what Lisa did for me. I also worked really hard in my younger years to make sure that I surrounded myself with women who I saw lifting up other women, and I was fortunate enough to find an organization that, really fed that. So I felt like, I mean, I had a pretty deep pipeline of women that I could turn to.
Was that crew?
It was crew.
Yeah.
It was.
I see you being really engaged there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I always say to people, I hope you find your crew. And Kara, I think that so many people in Omaha find their crew at Ignite.
Mm.
Like, I think that you have done for women in that industry what crew had done for me in my total
That's very
years.
kind.
No, thank you. Uh, because that the women need it.
Yeah, we do. And the women who reach out to me some text and are like, well, my boss won't let me have the day off. And I'm like, for professional development?
Mhm.
Like, I don't understand. And they're like, is it professional development? I'm like, absolutely. Taking time for yourself and engaging in this way will actually help you show up better at work. It's going to create clarity for you.
Mhm.
And that clarity could mean you don't do that job,
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so I think I love the comfort so much. It's turned into this just nothing I could have ever imagined.
Sure.
And this year, getting to our top goal of the 350 and saying to the audience, like, this is it. You want to get in next year, you better get while the getting's good because this is the group. And also, there were two statements I made this year that I was sort of hesitant ish on saying. And one of them was at the end of my discussion on my story was, I will never be minimized again.
Yeah.
And I will never sign another employment agreement. And I did feel sort of in the room, like, holy shit, if she can say that,
Yeah.
that means I can say that.
Mhm.
And that's okay.
Mhm.
And also, it was important for me this year that I added real statistics around some of the things I was talking about because it can't just be us complaining about it.
Right.
There has to be, in my opinion, there has to be data that supports the things that are happening. And then how do we go against that data? Or not even go against, but how do we find opportunity in that data? And so the data was really meaningful to me. And I saw a couple people who posted on social after used those data points.
They're powerful. They tell a story without needing a story to back it
Oh,
up.
yes. Yes, it's not just a problem.
Yeah.
It's a researched statistic that's holding people down and keeping them from their greatness.
Mhm.
And I also loved it this year that we had a young woman, and I was proud of our guests. I guess I don't know, proud is the right word, but when we got the evaluations, because that was her first big stage like that. She was, nervous, rightfully so. She's 19.
Mhm.
I thought she did a beautiful job. And our evaluations, I was very, very pleased that no one put snarky comments in the
Yeah.
evaluations
Mhm.
because that's unnecessary.
It
How do
is.
we expect for women to even try if we're just going to rake them over the coals? And one of the people in my community did, and I was like, "Oh, full stop."
Yeah.
Like, we're not doing that. And there was a reason that she was there. She will grow and change and learn from this relationship or this opportunity, and it's going to be great.
Yeah.
And the more we have to have young women. I'm 52.
Mhm.
Like, I'm sailing into the sunset at some point,
Mhm.
and got to have someone holding the bag.
Right? Well, I keep looking back. Someone took a chance on me when I was 26.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
you absolutely have to. You have to send that elevator back down,
Yes.
and, like, in the meantime, build a bigger elevator shaft so you can bring more up.
Yes.
And
Totally.
you can do both things at the same time.
Totally. In fact, right now I'm responding to an RFP, and it's a public sector RFP, which I think is really going to be a good place for me
Mhm.
because, there's less importance of the relationship.
Sure.
Not that the relationship isn't important, and I have clients like that too, but in this particular scenario, they're asking about like, how old is your firm and how many people do you have and all these things, and I'm thinking none of this matters.
Mhm.
Like, it used to matter to me,
Mhm.
but I know it doesn't matter for the buyer. And so I've actually worked on structuring some of my responses around the thoughtful growth that the Kirsch group will have,
Mhm.
so that our teams aren't burnt out and our teams aren't not able to spend time with their families, because it's happening in our industry across the board where people and mainly women, because they're doing the account management work, are stretched completely thin.
Yeah.
And so again, back to the all ships rise. If those words can make a difference for someone, it matters to me.
Mhm. And I look at anytime you're doing public speaking or you're up in front of an audience, it could be an audience of 5 people. I always look at it as if one person takes one thing that they heard and applies
Yes.
it and it makes their life better, that's a win.
Yes.
That's a win.
And I also view it that way for myself.
Mhm.
So if I'm sitting in the audience,
Yep.
if I can take away one thing,
Yep.
then it was worth the investment of the day because
Absolutely.
I'm better because of it.
Mhm.
What's your favorite thing to speak about when you do get asked to speak?
Oh gosh. Okay. So much. Anything to do with lifting up women. I have a very raw and vulnerable presentation on overcoming fear of failure.
Mm.
And really it builds up or maybe tears down the hesitation that people have when it comes to taking risk.
Yeah.
It's oh god, I just love that one.
Well, and as women, you've probably done some research on this. Oh, is there a fact finder like me?
Mhm.
But can you recall any of the stats around why women don't take risks?
Oof.
And if you can't, not to put you on the spot,
Yeah.
but
Off the top, I can't spout out numbers, but I mean, there's so much of it that is anchored in social expectation and social norms and
yes.
systems that have been created and perception
Yeah.
and perception driving reality. You know, if a woman comes in and is assertive, the perception is she's a bitch.
Right. Or if she has financial goals, she's greedy.
Yes,
Yeah.
all the things. Or if she doesn't have a desire to get married and have children,
Right.
or why is she here?
Yeah. Right. Excuse me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sit down. I'll tell you.
Or I doesn't want to have water cooler chit chat.
Yeah.
She just wants to be focused on what she's doing. That was
Mhm.
something I got pinged a lot for in my career was she's not personal.
Yeah.
She's not personable. And I'm thinking, I'm not here to be personable. I'm not
Right.
here to work.
Right.
Like this is what I love.
Mhm.
It's funny because I'm working on my book.
Yeah.
And I was thinking back to like the first time in my life that I knew I would be in business.
Mm.
I used to play business as a child too. I used to have a cash register. My cousin had a cash register. It's her house we played. The other job I played, and this is hilarious, is church. I was a priest.
Oh, I can see it. I would go to the Church of Kara.
I was a Catholic priest. So, well before my time. But, my journey was a little bit different because I went to nursing school, but business has always been something that I have played and esteemed. And even today, when I sit at my desk at home and I go into the world and do business, it's what I love.
Mhm.
The reading of a contract, I think nothing is more fun.
Mhm.
You know, finding something in a contract that someone didn't know, I'm like, oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You know, that I love that so much. What are you involved in from a community perspective just for you? Like, what are your causes that you care about? I know I know some of the things, but share with our audience
Yeah.
where your heart goes.
So I'm currently secretary of the board for Women's Fund.
I didn't know that.
Mhm.
I love
Mhm.
it.
That was,
And I know you were very involved in circles, right?
I was,
Yeah.
yeah, very involved in circles. And then, the day that Joe, the executive director, sent the
Yes.
email asking me to join the board, Kara, I just burst into tears at my desk
Oh,
because
I would have too.
I remember really on in my career, I was reading one of the reports that Women's Fund had put out, and it was about women in leadership in Omaha. And you get to the back, and it has the picture of all the board members. And I was looking at it, and I'm like, these women are pillars of the community. Like I aspire to
Yes.
become
Me
this.
too.
And then I sat there reading this email, and I was like, holy shit, did I just become this? Or have I become this? I mean, it was one of the most powerful emails that I've never burst into tears at an email before. But that is that their mission, the Women's Fund mission, is so aligned with who I am as a person and everything that sets my soul on fire. So it's, people always say it's the honor of a lifetime, but there are times when you mean it. Like my voice is starting to shake. Like I mean it that much. I recently joined the board for Lift Up Sarpy, which is a nonprofit organization in Sarpy County that really serves as a connection point for individuals who need help. And it doesn't matter what that help is. Lift Up Sarpy serves to be the connection point to
Mm.
to connect individuals to the different social service needs that they have.
Mhm.
Um, I'm I had my first board meeting last week, so that one's brand new, but means a lot to me because I was born and raised in La Vista, so I'm a Sarpy girl. I'm Omaha's my Omaha, but
Yeah.
I am a Sarpy County girl.
Yeah.
I also sit on the leadership at Nebraska Alumni Advisory Council.
You do?
I do, yeah. So I get to where I'm most active in that is part of the selection committee
Oh.
every year. So it's always so much fun to see, who's
And it's got us so popular.
it has. They had to increase the class size.
Really?
Yeah, they're at 35 now.
Wow. I love it. Yeah, I didn't grow up in Nebraska as a child. Like, I moved here in 7th grade,
Yeah.
which I was a child, but even like, yeah, K to 5, K to 7. And I say that because what's the year that we studied for Nebraska history? Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't get that.
Yeah.
And so when I did Leadership Nebraska, I was quickly educated around the richness of resource in our state. And that to me was so cool.
Yeah.
I thought, wow, we have an aquifer. Wow, we have enough electricity. If the borders of our state got shut, we'd be okay. Wow, we have food.
Sugar beets.
Right.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And I did take that 4-3 Nebraska
I didn't
history
realize
class.
shit.
Yeah.
And going to Kearney and learning about their economy and going to Norfolk and learning about I grew up there and I didn't know anything. And so I do believe that that has provided me with a little different perspective about living in Nebraska, where other people call us the playa we're staying at, or they'll say, I had someone in California say to me once, I said, I'm from Nebraska. And they said, is that in Oklahoma?
Oh,
I said,
God.
since 5th grade geography. And they were like, where is it? I'm like, well, it's on stage. It like, go back to school, buddy. But yeah, I love it here. And I love where I live now. Yes, I moved from Bellevue. I love Bellevue too. But my son lives in my old house there. And so I still have a connection. Sure. And Bellevue is near and dear to me because I sat on the Bellevue the city board. Not the city council, but like the Bellevue Chamber Board. Got it. And loved it so much. Yeah. I mean, any way you can be involved. And I truly love the Women's Fund and felt just like you in seeing the pictures of those women and thinking, I want to be them. I haven't had a chance to be them yet. So maybe someday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe some yet. Maybe
Yep.
someday.
And the last one's the Lewis Community Foundation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just rolled off as board chair, so I'm current past chair. But we'll probably do another lap through the chair role.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. I love all of that. I know one of the other things that you really love in your life is travel. And I do. So talk to us about your travel goals.
Oh gosh. My like new motto in life is bucket book it.
Oh, Phoebe. Yeah. Phoebe.
Yeah, take the trip. So I try to
And you
do
travel along sometimes.
most of the time. Yeah, most of the time. Lisa and I usually do one trip together, kind of around Memorial Day. We try to build it around a 3-day weekend. She's a boomer and doesn't like to miss work. I'm
Fuck that.
I'm a millennial. Let me use every minute of PTO that I have.
I'm Gen X and I'm using my time.
Yes. So usually she and I will do a big trip to Europe together in May. This year, her daughter is actually turning 40 and wanting to do a trip with mom. So they're going to do a trip together. So all 3 Europe trips this year will be solo. Yes. I always try to get to Ireland January, February time frame because my heart is there. I have zero. Like Ancestry.com has not shown me any Irish heritage.
Okay. But you're feeling
None,
something
but
of a pull.
it's the very first time I went, I fell in love. I got off the train in a village called Killarney, and I thought to myself, I know where my hotel is, and I walked there with a map. It's like my soul knows Ireland.
Wow.
Yeah. And so I go back, and now what I do is I pick a village or an area and I just stay there for a week. So instead of bopping around touching everything, so you can get a little more of the immersion. I always like that one to be a little slow paced too, coming off the end of year rush and the push to get through everything. And January sucks in Nebraska, so it doesn't suck in Ireland. I mean, it's cold and it's rainy.
It's not.
Yeah.
It's 20.
Well, it's also Ireland, so
Yeah.
I don't care what it is.
Right.
Then let's see here. In 96 days, I'm leaving to go to. I'm going to fly into London and then take the train over to Cardiff, rent a car, drive up the west coast of Wales, dump the car in Liverpool, take the train up to Edinburgh, and spend a couple days in Scotland. Scotland, in Bonnie, Scotland.
Oh my
Ah,
God.
yeah. And then I don't know what I'm going to do this fall, but generally what ends up happening is I have a really shitty day. And my emotional coping mechanism, if my therapist is not available, is delta.com. And I always seem to feel a little bit better when I hit that book button.
Oh, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is so awesome. Well, this year I have 2 trips and they're both in the United States. I don't get to go anywhere that's big this year because I'm watching a company.
Oh, yeah.
Seem to make some money.
Mm-hmm.
And but I'm still gonna do the 2 trips that I planned. And initially, I was like, well, maybe I shouldn't. But I'm just gonna do it. You need because life is not promised. No. And it's short. And I love the beach. And so it's 2 times at the beach this year. My parents have a place. My parents and my brother have a place in Destin. And so I have my 2 weeks booked, Memorial Day that week, and then a week in July. And then in June, we do our family camping trip in South Dakota. And that's super fun to eat. And my parents and I both go on Tuesday. The rest of our family comes on Friday. But I rent a camper and they bring it like right to the site. It has water in it, has all
Doing executives for you. Love it.
They do everything for you. And then they actually pick it up, drain it, do all that too. And last year I was sort of having camper envy because I was going around to people's campers they rented. I'm like, this camper is the bomb. Why am I in this janky camper? And so this year I'm stepping way up.
Good to you.
I'm getting the top of the line camper. And I told my kids, I'm like, you guys can come, plenty of room in the camper. Of course, they're all like, we'll come if each other comes,
Yeah.
And so we'll see. Well, I love your travel. I love to watch it. And I want to go to Ireland.
Do it.
Yeah.
Okay, book it.
Right. Friday book and
Phoebe.
What's your favorite book?
Oh, Garden Spells by Sarah Addison Allen.
Why do you love it?
I love it because it transports you into a world that is just so magical and light and carefree. I mean, it's a fiction book. But every time I read it, Kara, I will open that book and I will not stand up from where I'm sitting until I finish it. Like I forget to eat, I forget to pee, I forget to drink water or wine. Plus me on swine.
Right.
If I'm sitting
Yeah,
getting a lark. Yeah. Yes. I don't know. It's so beautiful. And I always recommend that to people. I've recommended it
Yeah.
at Ignite for the last few years. I don't know. It's just lovely.
Yeah.
And easy to disappear into.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I like if I have to think about my favorites, one of my all-time favorites is Lessons in Chemistry. Loved it. Loved the show even more on Apple TV. And she did such a good job of portraying the main character, but I loved it for so many reasons. I can't even put a finger on it, but I read the books The Housemates,
Okay.
and those I read in like one day each. Yeah. Creepy. And I get scared because I live alone. So I was like, what if someone got in here and like took me somewhere
Yeah.
into the world. I wouldn't be the victim.
Mm.
I'd be like fighting like hell to get out of
Oh,
here.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about your motto? Do you have any mottos that you live by other than Phoebe?
Phoebe. Okay, so there's Phoebe. Then I don't know if this is a motto or more of a mantra, but that I live every day to be the woman that the younger version of me would have run to for help.
Oh,
Right? Just
so beautiful.
do what you can, be who people need. I don't know, it's not that hard.
It's not.
It's yeah,
And be
that's
true to yourself.
it is. And then the other one is she believed she could, so she did.
Oh, that's mine too.
Yeah. I have a room in my house where I have quotes painted all over it, and that's one of the first ones that I painted on the wall.
Oh, awesome. My office at home is cork. It's all cork. And so I
You
just,
know, our cork comes from Portugal.
oh, I know about Portugal. I haven't been there.
Yeah. You need to go.
Yeah. And what I've started to do recently is I get a lot of, I send a lot of cards and I get a lot of cards. I just start stamping those babies on the wall.
Yeah, Kara, I have a
Everywhere.
stack. Yes.
Yeah. Everywhere.
I bet there are 10 of them from you in that stack too, by the way.
Oh, and yeah, cards. I love because I think we all need a reminder of our greatness.
Yeah.
I don't know about you, but I would say like 90% of my days, maybe 85, I show up and I believe that. 15% I'm like, And this week has been a really heavy week for me
Okay.
emotionally. And I guess I don't know what it is exactly, but I'm telling myself that it's like the reality of the fact that when you are a founder, before you hire people, you are by yourself.
Yeah.
And I live alone. My kids are grown up. And so I've had to really lean into my people and be like, I felt lonely. Is that normal? And to have other founders and entrepreneurs, which is, as I told you what you are,
Hey.
to remind me that, yeah, it can be lonely, but don't sit in it.
Yeah.
Don't stay there. Make sure that you reach out. And that's something I haven't always been good at.
It's hard. I'm not good at it either. But I
So-
tell everyone you need to do it.
So we decided yesterday, a couple of us, that the text we would send is the SOS emoji.
Okay.
So if ever I send you the SOS emoji, you should call me. Okay. And not that I'm going to write myself or anything like that, but it's just that I need something. I need love. I need wine. I need a book. I need just a reminder. Hey, Kara, I'm here.
Yep.
And I offer you that too. And lastly, where can people find you? How can people reach out to you and get to know you better?
Oh gosh. Well, in the A terminal at Epley, there's a pretty good chance I'm there. Yeah. No, your typical social media channels. The name Quinn Texmo, it's hard to hide from.
It is hard.
So,
You're my only friend named Quinn.
Mhm.
And I love the name Quinn. So do I. It's so beautiful. So do I. I always wanted to be named Elizabeth.
Oh.
So in 4th grade, I think I tried to change my name at school.
Mhm.
And my teachers were like, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And I'm like, my name's Elizabeth now because I want to be called Liz.
Yeah. I always wanted Tracy. I wrote Tracy on like all like my Barbie furniture and a marker, and but then when I got into about my 20s, my like alternate ego, if I didn't want to, you can't hide from my name,
No.
right? And so if I didn't want to give someone my name, it was always Emily. That's my go-to is Emily.
Oh, was that your bar name?
Yes. Yes, it was.
My bar name's Christine.
Oh, okay.
And so if anyone comes up that I don't want to talk to, they're like, what's your name? Christy. Yeah. So yeah.
Try to find me.
Yeah, try and find it. Good luck. And if they ask me for a number and I don't feel like saying no, I'll just give them a number, not mine.
Yeah.
It's
And they say to just switch one digit
Yeah.
of your real phone number.
Yeah.
So that if they ask you to repeat it, it's easier to remember.
right. It's true. It's
Pro
true. Yeah. Pro tip on avoiding
Creeps.
yeah, skeezers. Well, thank you so much for being with us today. For all of you listening, please hit that like and subscribe button so that you're notified of future Ignite episodes. And Quinn, there's so many things I think about when I think of you. And you are big and bold and courageous and smart and kind and beautiful. And my life would not be as full without you in it. And I'm so very grateful for your friendship and the honesty that you bring to that relationship. And I encourage you to always, always keep showing up for me. I'll show up for you.
Promise.
And, Phoebe,
Baby.
have a great day, everyone. Love you too, friend.